Hey there folks, this is Lucifer Legaborden coming back at you with another video. Recently I've had to deal with trolls. As people who follow me have known, I'm pretty good at dealing with trolls. I've dealt with them for many years. I've learned tips and tricks on how to really take them down and piss them off. And I'm going to share with you some new tricks today, and this is going to help a lot of people on many different platforms that I believe. Now, the first thing you need to understand with trolls is they're on every single platform. You're not going to get rid of them fully, but you can make their lives pretty difficult with a few simple actions. And the first thing you want to do is document everything. You need to be prepared to show these trolls to the world and expose them if need be. Uh, Now, this is going to run in contradiction to the next thing I'm going to tell you. Don't feed the trolls. Trolls thrive on your attention. They want to get your attention. They want to see that they have your attention and that they can disrupt your life. Most of these trolls, they've got little teeny tiny channels. They have very few um followers, very few people who can really do damage. Now, some of these trolls, I will say, do have bigger platforms, and they have a much larger soapbox where people will cause damage to you, and you need to be aware of those ones just in case. Now, there's a few simple tricks that if push comes to shove, that you can prevent any sort of damage to you. Some of these trolls will try to dox you. They will try to expose your real identity. They will try to give your address out, your email address, your phone number, and for that reason, you need to protect that at all times. Now, please pay attention to that, because that's going to play a very critical role in the next tactic that I'm going to give you. There is one weapon provided by almost every social media platform, and on quite a few of them, it's much more difficult to find than on certain others. So, here on YouTube, for instance, it's pretty easy to copyright strike another person's video. It's right in your channel dashboard. You just go to the copyright button and you click on it, and then you're going to look in the upper right hand corner and you're going to find the add copyright, um, which means that once you click on that, you're going to fill out a copyright removal form. Now, when you fill out one of these forms, a copyright strike is a tool that you can actually use to remove your content off of a troll's page. You are getting the platform involved. Now, I see so many people, they file these complaints about trolls. They see their stuff on this trolls page and they'll file a complaint, file a complaint, file a complaint, and nothing gets done. The platform will ignore them no matter what. And I'm going to tell you, don't waste your time doing that. Don't file numerous thousands of complaints, because only one in about 100 complaints gets paid attention to. All right, you need to file close to 1,000 complaints for anything to be really noticed on the trolls page. And yeah, the automation isn't going to do anything. They're going to make a note of it, and that's it. So you want to use the copyright strike. This is something that the platform, no matter what it is, pays attention to. This is more powerful than any sort of complaint form that you could fill out. Even the privacy complaint form. I know one troll recently tried to put my email address on a YouTube post, and I filed a proper complaint. I actually filed two privacy complaint forms, and I provided links, and I just got circle talk in return. But using one of the methods that I use that I'm going to show you today, the post with my email in it was removed. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, things you want to do on the preamble. When you sign up for one of these social media platforms, don't use your primary email address. Use a junk email address that you send pretty much all of your junk email to, or you sign up for every platform for. This is an email that you don't care if somebody really sends crap to. Now, I've had a Gmail address for years, and I use it. I now have other email addresses that are my primary email address. I also have a Yahoo email address that I use in the same way as my Gmail address, which my Gmail address is literally one of these. It's my primary junk email address. This is just an email address that I can send. If I have to sign up for something, I can just click it instantly and just send it to that, and I don't care. My primary email address is actually through Proton Mail, which is a highly secured email provider. It is free, but it's end-to-end encryption. It checks emails for all sorts of things like hacking attempts, phishing attempts. When you send out an email with it, your location is secured. Your IP address is secured. With Gmail, your IP address is not secured, and so you only want to use your Gmail address when you're signing up for a platform. Now, I said that your IP address with Gmail is not secured, and that's true to a degree. Your Gmail, your email, your IP address, oh my god, I'm getting tongue-tied here, is secured in that it has to go through Google and then through whatever platform you're going to. So you're never going to send your any emails from this Gmail address or anything to anybody who could possibly be shady. You don't want to do that, because then they can get your IP address directly from the email and find you that way. So you only want to use your Gmail address when you're signing up for Facebook, YouTube, or whatnot, and that's going to be the email address on file. So when they send it out, any notifications or whatnot, no one can really use your email address to link directly back to you. That's one of the big things. If you need to send an email directly to a person, do not use Gmail, do not use Yahoo, use something like Proton Mail, something that's going to encrypt your IP address and not give it out. So that's just a bit of advice. Next thing you want to do is, when you fill out a copyright complaint form, don't fill in your true address. You want to fill in something that's pretty close to your address, but not your actual true address. Also, don't put in your actual phone number. There is reasons for this, because some of these trolls will take it to the degree, and I've seen it happen. I've had people try to do it with me. They will leak your address out. They will try to come to your address if they're a really crazy one. They'll leak it out. They'll try to dox you. They'll leak your phone number. So don't put in exactly factual information. When I put in one of these copyright complaint forms, I actually put in the address of a local pizzeria whose owner knows me and allows me to use it for this. So if anybody shows up trying to cause trouble, they're showing up to a business, and the business manager can handle any situations. And yeah, he's a friend of mine, and he lets me do this. So go out, talk to people, and do that. Another thing you can do is you can use a UPS Dropbox address. They actually openly allow people to do that, so you can actually use your local UPS store as an actual street address. And so if anything does need to get sent mail wise, it will be sent to this physical address, who, if it's a friend of yours, they can hold on to the mail for you and give you a call. Hey, you got mail here. Or if it's a business like UPS, it's just a Dropbox. They register it as a physical address, and it's perfectly fine. You can use that legally. Me, I use a pizzeria that is in like several towns over from where I live. I live in a little podunk town here in South Carolina, and the pizzeria is Electric City Pizza over in Anderson. So go check them out. They're pretty fun. They have great pizza. Um, and that's the basic safety precautions you need to do. Now, I'm going to show you how to fill up this form. Mind you, I do have my junk email address blacked out, mostly because, well, I still don't want that getting out to the public, because I don't want it getting flooded with stupid trolls trying to cause me problems. So that's the only thing blacked out. It is still a junk email. I have like over 1,000 some odd fucking emails in it. So without any further ado, let's go into this. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize my screen a little bit. We are right here. And the first thing I'm going to show is this. So this is the normal copyright page. So when you come to this page, this is in your channel dashboard for YouTube. Research where your copyright requests need to be filled out at. Facebook has their own method of getting to it. Instagram has their own method of doing it. There's all sorts of different methods of doing it, and I will link a website down below on where you can figure out where your platform's method of copyright request removal goes through. Now, with YouTube, it's right here. So you go to your copyright page, and you can see these are just some recent copyright strikes that I had to do quite recently. And you want to go to new removal request, which is in the upper right hand corner, as you can see. You click on that, and you're going to fill out the form. But here's the thing. They can contend that. When you fill out the form through this method, the person can actually contend it. And that's a pretty standard maneuver for some of these trolls. What that means is that you need to go through the court system to file a court order to have it removed. That's actually not very hard. You can go through your local courts to do this, and you can file suit against a person, forcing them to remove it. Now here's the cool part. It doesn't matter where they live when you do this. If they try to contend this copyright takedown notice, and even if they live in Canada, Abu Dhabi, wherever, YouTube will still work on your side. And then the courts will also work on your side. Now, you want to do some research and figure out what level of court you are going to need to go through to file this suit against them. And because you have it at state level, and then you have it at national level, and you also might even have to deal with international level. Now, here's the fun part. Once you get it filed, because you can file a suit at any level you want, it's only going to cost you, probably about $150, $200 to file the suit. That's just to file it with the courts. Once that goes on, once you've got it filed, the court is going to send a summons to the person. Okay, make sure if they file a copyright return, if they file a copyright, if they contend the copyright, here's the thing: they have to provide, an actual physical address as well, which means you now can reach out to them. You can now actually send the strike to their mailbox. You can send a court order to their mailbox. And no matter what, they have to respond. It doesn't matter if they're in China, doesn't matter if they're in Canada or wherever. The moment that court order goes out, they are now legally required to present themselves or have a representative present themselves in court. Now, you're probably going, well, what if they do the same thing as you and they don't use their actual mailing address? That's their problem, not yours. Because the moment you send out that court order and it goes to that address and it gets delivered by certified mail, even if it's undeliverable, that court date is set. They have to present themselves. And if they don't get that notice, that's great on you. Now you just walk into your courthouse on the assigned date, you present yourself, and the court will rule automatically in your favor. And so that's one of the things about this. Don't be intimidated if they try to contest the court order or they try to contest the copyright strike. Don't be intimidated. That just means you need to take it one step further and go to the courts and have that done. Once the courts rule in your favor, that's going to go back to YouTube. You're going to present that to YouTube. They're going to look it up and be like, okay, this is a legit court order. And they're going to take down that video no matter what. That's the long way around. But there's a different way. There's a way that is much more complicated to achieve this. And it's much more difficult for people to contend with YouTube with. Now, with YouTube, just going to take that down. Now, with YouTube, you can make posts, and your posts cannot be copyright struck through your channel dashboard. I've tried. They don't work. It's one of those stupid things that YouTube does that makes it very difficult to copyright strike a physical post. So they can have pictures on this post, and it's just like a Facebook post, but it's on YouTube, and everybody has the ability to make these posts. And so you go over to the post, and you can file a report for harassment or whatnot on the posts, and 9 times out of 10, nothing's gonna get done. Just like anywhere else. But there is a way to copyright strike them. There is actually a way. And so, how do you do that? You've got to email YouTube directly. And I'm going to make sure I post the email address and how to set it up in the links below. So you've got to actually physically type out an email and file this copyright strike via email to YouTube. Now, I'm going to tell you, use your junk email. Just use your junk email. YouTube will provide the person with your junk email address, but they can't try to trace that back, because anytime they try to trace the YouTube's email, it's just going to lead back to the YouTube headquarters. So you're perfectly safe there. Now we're going to go down and I'm going to show you, let's see here. Yeah. All right. So this is the YouTube email that I sent to have a recent one taken down. And again, I'm going to provide you with the email address in the description below of where you can send your own copyright strike emails. This can be done for both videos and posts, no matter what, on YouTube. Now you've got to fill it out and you've got to be detailed. You need to provide links to where the original content is. So as you can see here, I wrote out a name. This is another thing that you want to be careful about. With trolls, they're going to try to dox your actual name. People who know me know that I've misspelled my name there, so people can actually try to look up Robert McNeil, and they're not going to come up with me. Um, that's a fun little trick. Same with email addresses. It's a junk email, but I still don't want it just being put out there, so I blacked that out. The address that I have up there, that's not my home address. I'm not blacking it out. I don't care if people have that. That is just a pizzeria. It is called Electric City Pizza, and it's in downtown Anderson, several towns over from me. All right, so then you want to fill this out, and you want to, as you can see, I describe what the infringing content is. The infringing content was an image of myself from my website, and then I provided a link to my website on the page, Who is Lega Borden. You can actually go to that, and you can see the image, the original image that I copyright struck in the post. And this is another thing. Don't overburden copyright strikes. You only want to copyright strike one tiny thing out of an entire post. Because, you know, if like in a video, the infringement takes place over the entire video, you want to make sure it's easily seen throughout the entire video, and you can provide it to your original video or an original photo or whatever. But with something like this, you just want to do it with for one little element. So if they have like 10 pictures of you in a post, just choose one. Just choose one tiny element. This minimizes the amount of work that the person on the other end has to do. If they have to go digging through 10 different things, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. But if it's just like one simple link, they go, they see the original content, and then you provide the link to the post or video that has the infringing content in it. Even if they have like 10 different pictures, they're going to quickly scroll through the pictures. They're going to compare the pictures to your example link. And once they find the one, they're going to be like, oh, there it is. Yep, done. With this, you know, so I've sent them the link to my original picture that I believe it was taken from on my personal website, the STS website, and then I provided a link to the infringing post. That simple. And then underneath that, you can see I have, in good faith, I'm just going to go ahead and bring this up so people can actually see it. Well, all right, so right here you can see that these next two questions you need to put in. This is a requirement. You need to say, I have in good faith belief that the use of the material in the manner complained of is not authorized by the copyright owner, its agent, or the law. This all the copyright owner, its agent, or and whatnot is you. Okay, so answer that yes. So you put a couple dashes, two dashes on your dashboard, on your keyboard, and you say yes. And then the next one, the information in this notification is accurate under penalty of perjury. I am the owner or an agent authorized to act on behalf of the owner of an exclusive right that is allegedly infringed. Again, you want to put yes, and then you want to sign your digital e-signature. Again, Robert McNeil in my case. It is close enough to my actual last name where it's not considered infringement, it's not considered perjury, but it is not so precisely my name that I risk having people trying to look me up and find me if absolutely necessary. So it's a protective. Again, with the phone number, that's not even the pizzeria's number. That's a number that I had just created. No one ever calls you. I've checked that and I've talked to people. No one ever calls. It's just there for random documentation. Um, so that can be any number you want. No one's ever going to call you, but never put your own personal number, because then the troll or whoever's harassing you might try to call you, and you don't want that. I mean, you really just don't want that. This is my cell phone case I'm using my phone, but you definitely don't want that. Um, so don't put your actual phone number in there. That protects you as a person. Again, don't use your own physical address. Use an address you receive mail from that you can get mail to, but is not going to put anybody in danger. So use UPS, drop office, or a local business who you get permission from the owner to use. Like I said, I use Electric City Pizza. The owner's a cool guy and lets me use it. So that's how you do this. Now, here's the cool, fun part about this. When you do a copyright takedown notice this way, it is much more complicated for them to try to fight back against the copyright takedown notice, because you have taken the time to actually type out and write out a takedown notice manually. You're not filling out a form or anything. You've taken the time to see what is required, and you filled it out by hand and you sent it in. This is something that is almost foolproof with YouTube, especially YouTube. But you can do it with website hosts. You can do it with, I mean, it's the only way you can do it with website hosts, first off. They only accept it via email. You can do it with Facebook if you can find the manual complaint office for Facebook. It's very difficult to find them. But if you can do it, go that route. Facebook is actually, you don't really need to do it that route. I've taken down copyright notices with Facebook before, but again, you need to be much more detailed with Facebook. There is a lot more hoopla to go through with Facebook. And then there's other ones like Instagram, which is much easier to go through. And, sites like Facebook and Instagram, and I believe TikTok, they do not provide any opportunity for the individual to fight back like YouTube does. YouTube allows people to resist the copyright notice by filing a counterclaim. Again, they do that. Just go to your local courthouse, spend a little bit of money, file the lawsuit. Even if they use a false address, that summons to court will be sent out to them, and it's going to be done. That, you get the court summons back, you attend court, you get the court order in your favor, wham bam, thank you ma'am, it's done. It's only going to cost you about $100 to $200 depending on where you're at. Look into your local fees. Once you have that done and taken care of, though, you can send it into YouTube and YouTube will take it down. They can't fight it. It's an annoying step-by-step process, but you can do it. And it might cost you a little bit of money. Now, you're probably going, well, what if they do fight it? What if they send a representative in? So what if they do? If you've already filed a copyright complaint and it's a legit complaint and you've provided all the proper evidence for it, they're going to have to stand in front of that judge and explain why they're stealing your crap. And they could be facing actual criminal charges for it. Especially when you start, if they're posting slanderous stuff about you, and you bring that into a courtroom on a lawsuit, they're not going to want to stand in front of a judge with police, bailiffs nearby with handcuffs that could potentially march them out of that courtroom and into the local jail. They're not going to want to do that. So 9 times out of 10, these people will not show up in court. So I wouldn't even worry about that. I'm going to tell you right now, if you are facing something where it is a copyright suit against you, make sure you hire an attorney. If you're on the defensive end, make sure you have a legal attorney backing you up. This is not something you want to walk into without an attorney. If you are the complainant, the complainant or plaintiff, you're perfectly fine. You don't need an attorney, really. I mean, if it's a really big suit, yeah, getting a lawyer. If it's something super serious, get a lawyer. But for something like a troll, you don't really need one. Just get in there, file the complaint, do whatever you need to. And that's how you deal with these trolls. They are cowardly. That's something that you need to remember. They are very cowardly. They will try to bait you into engaging with them. Never do it. No matter what they say, they're going to call you a pussy. They're going to call you a bitch. They're going to call you a coward. Do not give into that baiting. That sort of baiting behavior is what they thrive on. It is the thing that they want you to do to give them what they want. They want you to give them that validation, and they're going to feed on that validation. So don't give them any sort of validation. You copyright strike them, you stay silent. You stay like a monolith. You block them whenever you can. If you need to have a secondary profile where you can monitor them, don't just block them and not look at them, because then they could be running their mouths behind your back. You want to make sure that you monitor them for maybe a month or 2 months, and that way if they start any further problems, you are capable of seeing it, and they're not capable of knowing who you are watching them. Protect your secret account identity so they can't block it or anything like that. So when you do screenshots, don't put in your account's information in the image, or crop it out at least. Blur it out, crop it out, do whatever. If you need to absolutely expose them publicly on your channel or profile or make a post or something, be very careful on how you do it. You don't want to show anything that could get you a copyright strike. So you want to show who they are and show what they're doing without giving you a copyright strike. That's if you have to take it to that degree. By that point, if you have to take it to that degree, you know you're already going to be going to court. There's no harm going to be going on there. So make sure you understand exactly what you're doing on the beforehand when dealing with these trolls. They're pretty much simpletons. Copyright strike is your best weapon. Learn how to use it. Learn each platform's method. I'm going to be posting a link down below on where you can go to file these copyright strikes for every single website. This would include X. This can include Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, pretty much everything that you could want. I'm going to post a link to it down below. That's what I got for y'all today. Thank you all. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Share it with all of your friends, because everybody has to deal with a troll every once in a while. And these trolls, they like to really try to hurt people, and it's not fair. And so make sure you share this information with them. That way, people who don't need to be hurt know how to fight back and know how to protect themselves better. One thing that's always pissed me off is a bully. I don't like bullies. I've never liked bullies. I've always fought back against bullies all my life. And that's all these trolls are, is they are nothing more than cowardly little bullies. And so, yeah, use this method. I know the video is longer. Use this method to deal with these trolls. Thank you all. Again, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. And check the links in the description to figure out where you can go to hit these copyright strikes and use these copyright strikes to your benefit. I hope this helps you all. Thank you all. My name is Lucifer Lake Borden, and I'm out here.